In 1968, went to Vietnam and was put in a Charlie company, and spent 15 months in the jungle.
Wow.
I probably had 16, 17 ambushes that I survived. We actually had 2 presidential citations while we were there for some valor that we did. So all that experience really led me to really think at a young age, why do these things happen and why do we feel the way we do? Meaning, here's a 19-year-old kid that went from a high school having fun and games, and to be blunt, walk out and you kill people. I mean, that's what we do. That's what the soldiers are supposed to do. And so I saw extremely brave people. I saw, just for an example, we got ambushed by 2 machine guns. And the sergeant that was there, Usted, which, just a background on Usted was a Hell's Angel.
Oh, wow.
Nicest guy you'd ever want to know.
Huh.
He did everything. He was a smoking, brave man. Anyway, he's the closest to the ambush. He picks up 2 grenades, charges the ambush. They see him. They literally cut him in half, but he held on the grenades and fell over onto the machine gun and the two guys, the gooks that were there, and he blew himself up too. He didn't have to do that. And so there's so many records and I speak only for the 173rd because that's the unit I was in. I can't speak for the rest. I know all guys are brave.
Sure.
But I'm just saying I saw those events and many, many more events like that. And I saw guys be brave one moment and then freeze out of fear in another moment. I saw people literally convince themselves that they were going to die and become useless.
And at that time, you didn't have an understanding of it yet. You were just there doing it. You're put in the mix. It's years later when you start to have that understanding. But were you curious at the time? Was it in your mind of why, what's causing this? Or were you just acting day to day and you didn't really know at that time?
Well, I think at that stage it wasn't that analytical, but there was a turning point where you have to choose whether you're going to be a victim or you're going to be the hero, right? So you have to either, and so I started volunteering more and more for Point, and I realized I liked to be in the Point because I changed the mindset to the hunter. I decided I'm going to hunt people rather than walking to the jungle worrying about, are they going to get me? In other words, I changed the victim idea into the hunter.
You want to go on the offensive.
Right, and I started thinking offensively more and more, and I started gathering other guys around me, and we started talking about how to analyze, how to set up ambushes, how to do these more aggressive things to eliminate people. And you slowly change, and this is what I call the combat mindset. Right? So the combat mindset, if a man goes through enough combat and he's successful, he accepts the fact that death is imminent. So once you take that worry away from you, you become a hero in a way. In other words, you become brave stupid, I call it, right? Because what you're doing is you're saying, when that enemy comes up, I want to get him. You want to go after them. You don't have a problem killing them. You want to do it. It sounds a bit on the offside.
How long were you in the jungle before you started really understanding that concept? Because it doesn't come day one.
Well, it does if you have an event. So we were just talking before camera about the first time that I had to kill a man, right?